Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, bit of a funky scheduling with this one. Yeah, game one of the series with the Baltimore Orioles and the New York Mets got off fine. Then the ESPN game that was scheduled for, Wednesday night got rained out, doubleheader. Thursday, hey, the Orioles took both games. Holy shit. Usually you split those doubleheaders. Didn't. All went the Orioles' way. To a certain extent, some of it maybe because a little pissed off or extra motivated because Brian Baker traded to the Rays. Yeah, burying the lead on that one, aren't I? Probably the biggest news. Well, I don't know. The two wins are pretty big, I think. Brian Baker traded to the Rays for 37th pick in this upcoming draft. Okay. Alright. I mean, that's fine. We'll see how that works. So you can see them on MasterSports.com. Let's get to game one. New York Mets 7, Baltimore Orioles 6. This one in 10 innings. Yeah. It's going really well. And then all of a sudden the 8th inning happened. Huh. Okay. Holiday 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Westberg 2 hits, struck out 3 times. Henderson 1 hit. O'Hearn a hit, 2 RBIs, walked once. Ryno a hit, 2 RBIs. Kaiser with 2 hits. O'Neill over. DHing that game. Mullins over, but he did walk once. Stallings over. Urias pinch hitting late. Over. Alex Jackson coming in to catch after that. O'Hearn with double, Holiday with a home run. Feel like this series did not see the Orioles running the bases that well. Now, we're not necessarily talking about how they're moving up on hits or whatever, but it's the stolen base kind of base path trouble. Yeah, you got one stolen base with Mullins, but caught stealing with Westberg, and Laureano picked off. These kind of moves have not been going good for the Orioles recently. Not to mention Westberg keep injuring himself. Okay. I don't know. To me, I think one of the biggest culprits is Jackson Holiday getting thrown out kind of a lot. Seems like he gets the first and then he wants to run, which is perfectly understandable, but at the same time, I think you got to put a leash on him a little bit. Okay, you can let him extend on that leash a little bit, sure. Sometimes you need to lock it in place. Just until he learns, one, how to do it effectively and maybe when to do it. Brandon Young getting a start in his game, able to go 5 1/3 of an inning. It's not terrible. This is not a terrible outing. Not to mention the immaculate inning that he had. 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts. Okay, yeah. What was his total pitches? Total 66 pitches. So they're not. It's tough to say whether he's just not stretched out enough, or you get to that third time in the order and it's just in favor of the hitters. Something to probably look into in the future if Brandon Young can actually go more than 5 innings. In that 5 1/3 innings, he gives up 5 hits, 2 runs, no walks, which is a huge plus in my book. 6 strikeouts. Good outing. It's a good outing. Gregory Soto on to finish the 6th inning, getting the final 2 outs of the 6 innings. No hits, no runs. Does walk a batter, no strikeouts. But again, he gets the 2 outs in only 4 pitches. Was it a double play? I think it was one double play. 4 pitches getting the 2 outs. That's pretty good. I think it was a double play. Where is it? No, Gregory Soto in here. No, it was a line out and then an intentional walk and then a ground out. Still doing that on 4 pitches is very good. And it does kind of save him and his availability for later. Dominguez on the pitch full 7th inning. No hits, no runs. Does walk a batter, 2 strikeouts. Going good. Going good. Here's the man of the hour. The guy I buried the lead on. Brian Baker in here for the 8th inning. You know how I really feel about Brian Baker in the 8th inning? Yes. Hindsight is 2020. Yep, using hindsight still. Come on, man. It's just, okay, he's pitched relatively well this year. He really has. I'm not trying to say that he hasn't. But he does still lack the experience. He really does. Especially going against this kind of lineup. Because who is it? Nimmo, Lindor, Soto, Alonso. That's a big top 4. That is a big top 4. I'm not sure that there is a top 4 more dangerous in the Major League Baseball. Even one that you consider Judge in, who are the other 3? Having 4 guys that are that good. It's tough. It's tough. And seeing as how Kittredge was available, because Kittredge came in and got the 3 outs in that inning. Yeah, I think Kittredge should have been the first choice for the 8th inning. Because otherwise, what the hell are you paying him $10 million for? Like, you did this to shop Brian Baker? Maybe you could have gotten something better than a 37th round pick for him. I don't know. However, yeah, Baker unable to get it out in the 8th inning. Allows a single to Nimmo, Lindor homers. Allows a single to Soto, Alonso homers. That's not good at all. Well, I don't have to worry about it anymore, I guess. Neither does Mansolino or whoever ends up managing this team. Brian Baker, no outs in the 8th. Does give up 4 hits, 4 runs. All earned. No walks, no strikeouts. Whew. However, Andrew Kittredge on to stop the bleeding. Little too late. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. I don't understand that. Why didn't you just put Kittredge in there? You have enough innings to showcase Brian Baker. If anything, you should have used Baker in the 7th and then Kittredge in the 8th. But however, do whatever, man. It's whatever. Batista on for the 9th inning. Pitching the full 9th inning. No hits, no runs. Does walk a batter. 3 strikeouts. Okay. Yanier Cano on for the 10th inning. Yeah. Not great by Cano. It doesn't help that there's already a runner out on second. Cano pitching the full 10th inning. Doesn't give up 2 hits, 1 run. Not earned because it's the extra runner out there. So at least he only gave up 1 run. He also walks a batter. So 2 hits and a walk, and he only gave up 1 unearned run. It's not terrible, I guess. I mean, it kind of is, but at least the damage was somewhat minimized. Because you get a runner at second base, too, to start your half of the offense, right? Well, obviously, the Orioles couldn't get theirs in. And Cano with a strikeout in the 10th. So, somewhat of a, very disappointing end of the game. Very disappointing. Still, it's worth noting that, Mansolino was more worried about showcasing Brian Baker than actually trying to win the game? Come on now. Kittredge was the option there. Kittredge is the go-to choice. Otherwise, again, why are you paying him $10 million? You're paying him $10 million because you think he's a very good setup man. You got the top of the Mets lineup. I don't care what run lead you got. You got to get those dudes. If it's the 8th inning, put your best setup man in there. He can't get enough juices flowing to actually get the outs. then you shouldn't be paying him that money in the first place. But whatever. Whatever. Let's get to the next game. This is game 1 of the doubleheader. I think this was the originally scheduled game for this Thursday. The second game of the doubleheader became the makeup game. Because I think that this one was a giveaway. And it was about 12. I think it was scheduled for 1. Yeah, it was scheduled for 1. I actually went to this game. Scheduled for 1, moved up to 12, so with a giveaway. That's why that one is technically the originally slated game. New York Mets 1, Baltimore Orioles 3. Guess who stole the game this time? Not the Mets. Yep, right here in the 8th inning. Orioles put a 3 spot up. Yeah. I mean, that is a corner being turned for this year. Yeah, you let that one slip away, but you know what? You counterpunched and took one from him the next day. Or I guess the day after next. Holiday 1 hitting a walk. Westberg hitting a walk. Ryno hitting an RBI. O'Neill over, but he walked once. Cedric Mullins pinch running late. And to a certain extent, defensive replacement, because then that puts Ryno, Mullins, and Cowser out there. Mullins did not get in at bat. Ramon Arias over. Had a lefty starting, so there was that. And a doubleheader, Gunnar Henderson did not play in the first game. Cowser started in center, then moved to left when Mullins came in, gets a hit. Luis Vasquez with a rare start. Didn't too much. Plays the field very well. Definitely made a few really nice plays in the field. Definitely a very capable shortstop. Offensively, of course, he's not getting that much consistent playing time. Over and 2 at bats. Gunnar Henderson pinch hitting late. Yeah. Hitting 2 RBIs. Yep, stole that one. But that is kind of an advantage when you give Gunnar Henderson a day off. You have him available off the bench. Pinch hitting for Vasquez. So swap for the position there. Kobe Mayo got the start here. Over and 2 at bats. Ryan O'Hearn pinch hitting late. O'Hearn works a walk. Okay. Came around to score on, who is it? Lariano, I think, got him in. Sacrifice fly, if I'm not mistaken. Jacob Stallings getting the start in this game. It's a doubleheader, so we were going to see both catchers. And both catchers play a full game. Good to see what Alex Jackson can do. Stallings with 1 hit, 3 at bats. Extra base hits. Oh, just Henderson with the home run. Picked off. Jackson Holiday. Holiday with fielding error. Yeah. On the move, trying to get a ball. And then not being able to grasp it in the glove to make the throw, and it falls to the ground. It happens. It didn't cost the Orioles a run, so it's not that bad. Though with the play being in front of him and him being at second base, it was almost a short out, so you kind of got to give him an error there. Charlie Morton gets a start in this game, goes 6 innings. A little bit shaky at first, as he did allow several batters to reach in the first inning, but he settled in. He settled in after that and gave 6 strong innings. Does give up 4 hits and 1 run, 3 walks, which isn't great. You don't really like the 3 walks, but overall that's not a bad whip. It's 7 over 6. Not terrible. 4 strikeouts, which is a little low in the recent month for Morton. But, however, he got through 6 innings with only giving up 1 run. That's good. Take that any day of the week. Grant Wolfram, who ended up being the 27th man for this doubleheader, coming in relief, pitching 2 innings, the 7th and the 8th. Yeah, I don't know. he got it done in less than 30 pitches, so just roll with it, right? Pitching 2 innings, Grant Wolfram does give up 1 hit, but no runs, no walks. 4 strikeouts. Yeah, that's really good. Hell yeah. Felix Bautista on for the 9th inning, getting his 18th save. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Weird, but alright. Especially, either he walks a few batters and gets a few strikeouts, but you rarely see neither. That's odd, but, you know, ground balls and such, fine. However, get them how you get them, I guess. Let's get to game 2 of this doubleheader. New York Mets 3, Baltimore Orioles 7. Jackson Holiday DHing here. Again, playing 2 games of the doubleheader, but got to DH. Westberg also the same thing, playing both games of the doubleheader, but DH'd in the first game. Did he? He did DH in the first game, yes. Yes. Holiday over. Disappointing. Westberg hit 3 RBIs. Henderson 3 hits. O'Hearn over, but walked twice. Ryno over, but RBI and a walk. Kowser hit an RBI. Arias over. Mullins 2 hits. Alex Jackson 2 hits and an RBI. How about that? Oh, those 2 hits were doubles. 2 doubles. Did we just steal one from the Yankees? I hope so. It's like an added bonus. Not only do you get this 6th catcher that actually can do something, but you steal him from the Yankees practically. Mullins and Henderson also with doubles. Westberg with a home run as well. Stolen bases by Mullins and Lariano. It is somewhat rare that you see one team win both games. I think part of it was the first game was a close game, and then, you know, the second game, one team is usually going to dominate. And Orioles, for lack of a better term, did kind of dominate this game. Scotto kind of made it a little interesting, though he does get through 6 full innings, while giving up 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Which isn't a bad line, I guess. It's really not. You would like either really 1 less walk. That's what you would really like. Maybe even 2 less walks. That makes it a little bit more tolerable. Then maybe 1 run comes off there. But Sagano trying to work through some things. However, that tongue-tied a little bit. Oh well. Again, coming over from Japan, it's a little different. He doesn't pitch once every 6th day, or really once every 7th day, because they have a 6-man rotation and then a day off in their week. So it's 1 every 5th day here. He's a little more taxed than I think he's used to feeling. And I do think the league is making an adjustment on him, because he's not a fireballer. He can't reach back for extra velocity. He is more of a pinpoint precision and movement pitch kind of guy. Those things kind of got to work for you, or you're going to give up a few runs and some walks. Kittredge on for the 7th inning, pitching the full 7th inning. No hits, no runs, 1 strikeout. Again, that's why you got the guy. Yeah, use him. Gregory Soto on for the 8th. I don't know if it's ADD or something with him, or if he has trouble being in a game where it's not competitive for the team he's on. They're not playing for anything. Not even a win in this game. Sometimes when things are going right for the Orioles, he seems to pitch well. Seems to be something I'm noticing. I could be wrong. Sure. Of course I could be wrong. Soto pitching the full 8th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Alright, yeah. Don't allow base runners. Because you can't control the running game at all. So Anthony Dominguez on to close out the game. Not a save situation, but he's got closing out the game for you. Pitching the full ninth inning, does give up a hit, but no runs. Does walk a batter, strikes 2 out. Yay! How about that? Series win. 8 games under 500. He's still got a shot. They still got a shot. They can go around 40 and 30 this next 70 games. They got a real shot to get a wild card. Because there's 3 wild cards now. And you got to think Bradish, Wells, Rutschman, they're going to be returning in the second half. When exactly? Tough to say. Also, looks like Eflin's going to be returning sometime in the second half as well. But we do have some news on some injuries, and I forgot which the hell article was which. Kind of happens when there's so many injuries to talk about. This article here written by Rock Kabako talking about Bradish and Wells, and they're doing live sessions now. Now there's a what did he call it? Some kind of multi-up live batting practice kind of session. Then a rehab stint. So how long is that looking? What kind of timetable are we looking at? Are we looking at a month-ish from now? So August? Early August? I put it about 3 weeks from now. That's not unreasonable. We'll see. Also talking a bit about Rutschman here in this article by Rock Kabako. Yeah, he's been on the injury list for a while now, and it's not necessarily looking like he's going to be, like things are progressing fast. It is an oblique strain or whatever, soreness, stiffness, whatever it is. Who really knows? He does have several, because of with the All-Star break, got about a week. See if he can come back. Is it possible? Is it likely that he could be ready to go after the All-Star break? Sure. He's got what, 7 days? A lot could happen in those 7 days. Also, this article was, 3 days ago. So, the time of this, 3 days later, of course, no update since then, which is, I guess that's about the normal. What do you update on injuries every single day? It's like watching water boil. No, I forgot. I honestly forgot what the hell I was even talking about in some of this shit here. Shit. Oh, this was Eflin. Eflin is scheduled to start a rehab assignment this weekend. He's on there with back stiffness. So, what, a week? A week rehab assignment? Well, starting pitcher is a little different because you're going to want him to throw at least one outing, and then he's going to rest for 4 days and throw another outing. So, it might be closer to 2 weeks. And maybe my timetable is a little off for Bradish and Wells. And maybe they need a week or two of more of live batting practice type things. And then they go on a rehab assignment for 2 weeks. So maybe the second week in August, we could look at Tyler Wells and Kyle Bradish coming back. See if that can even do anything. Because, what state are you getting him at? Are you getting a pitcher that can throw a quality start? Well, hopefully. All right, let's talk about this trade. Yeah, Mike Elias talking about the Brian Baker trade. He said it wasn't necessarily something that Baker wasn't a player they were shopping. The Orioles had team control of Brian Baker through 2028. They weren't looking to deal it. But because what is it? Will be this season and then the next 3 years. That's kind of a long time. So to only get one draft pick, I mean, I guess maybe that's fine. Seems a little low, but whatever. Because that much team control, that's a lot of team control. I mean, you'd almost think a draft pick per team control. But whatever. That's fine. Orioles receiving the 37th pick in this year's draft. And again, Elias says it was a good offer. That's why I did it. It's not because they were shopping Baker. It's not because they wanted to move Baker. They had an offer on the table from the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and the Baltimore Orioles took it. But that does give the Orioles the 19th, the 30th, the 31st, and now the 37th in the first round. Because technically, you get, what, the 30th and the 31st because you didn't re-sign Corbin Burns and you didn't re-sign Santander. So you get this compensatory pick, or what are they, some kind of competitive draft pick or something they title this, when you don't sign a free agent. And that 37th round pick was, I don't know who the Tampa Bay Devil Rays got that for, but that was their compensation pick, or however you want to describe it. I mean, that's pretty good. 4 picks now in the top 40. You got to figure at least 2 of those got to turn into serviceable Major League ball players, if not all 4 of them. As far as serviceable Major League ball players, got to believe that at least 2 of them will make the team will probably make the team before 2028. So what is it? You draft them at 25. So there's half a season in minor league, 26 probably all in minor leagues, and maybe 2027 you call them up halfway through the season. If not, maybe a little earlier. It's possible. It's possible. For sure. Take a look at some of these roster moves. This information provided by the Masson staff. With Brian Baker being sent away, David Benuelos actually was selected to replace his spot on the roster. And then after game 1 of that doubleheader, Orioles made the move to send Benuelos back down and bring Colin Selby back. So Colin Selby, as of the time this article was written, taking the place of Brian Baker, bringing the bullpen and the pitcher numbers back up to 13. And this here by the Masson staff saying Grant Wolfram, 27th man, who I'm somewhat surprised that Wolfram wasn't selected to, just outright replace Brian Baker's spot on the roster. And then, for the 27th man, that's where you use it for the next catcher. I mean, however, do your thing. Because I kind of like what I saw out of Grant Wolfram. And to a certain extent, because Keegan Aiken on the injured list, that was somebody that they were talking about. Keegan Aiken as well. Not doing a whole lot of rehabbing or even pitching a lot to try to get back on the team because he received an injection a few days ago. And because of that, you have one less lefty on the roster, and it's Gregory Soto, that's it. So having Grant Wolfram, allowed you to have another lefty. Well, you only have one now because he was a 27th man. But to a certain extent, because, trying to remember the rules of calling people up and down, because he was only called up for the 27th man, you can use Selby, hopefully anyway, get some innings out of him, and then send him down, and then call Grant Wolfram back within the 10 days because he was only up here because of the 27th man of the doubleheader. So Grant Wolfram doesn't need to be down 10 days before he can come back like somebody else. Like, say, David Benuelos has to be down 10 days unless there is an injury. And you're making a move because of an injury. Alright, let's get the schedule, wrap this shit up, and get out of here. Miami Marlins coming into town. 3-game series. Friday's game. Today's game scheduled 7:05. Tomorrow, Saturday's game scheduled 4:05. Sunday's game scheduled 1:35. And then All-Star break. So, lots of days off there. What, 4 or 5? Well, I guess 4. 4 days off, right? So that's going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Please stay tuned for, I'll do it Monday, and I'll talk about the series between the Miami Marlins and the Baltimore Orioles. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.